Ever get the feeling that history is hiding in plain sight?
Like it's whispering to us through the ages.
Right, like, what if we could crack the code of a poem and find the secrets of an ancient battle plan hidden inside?
That's exactly what we're diving into today.
Yeah, today we're taking a look at a poem, just 4 lines.
By the legendary Tang Dynasty poet Du Fu, to try and uncover the secrets of the eightfold battle array.
And just to be clear, we're not talking about some dusty military manual here.
No, Du Fu was a master of capturing emotions, those kind of universal human experiences, and yet here he is, clearly moved by the legacy of this brilliant strategist, Zhu Zhiliang, and his infamous eightfold battle array.
Okay, so first things first. Who was Du Fu? Why should we care what he thought about, well, anything, let alone ancient military tactics?
Imagine living through some of the most tumultuous times in Chinese history, like witnessing empires crumble and new dynasties rise.
Talk about a front row seat to history.
Right, and that's the world Du Fu lived in. He's considered one of China's greatest poets, precisely because he captured the essence of that era. The beauty, the turmoil, the human stories at the heart of it all.
Got it. So when Du Fu wrote about the eightfold battle array, it wasn't just some, like, historical side note for him. This was personal.
Exactly. And to understand why, we need to journey back to the Three Kingdoms period, a time of constant warfare, shifting alliances, political intrigue. I mean, just think Game of Thrones, but ancient China.
Okay, I'm picturing it.
And right at the center of this chaotic world, you have Zhu Zhiliang.
Now he's the strategist, right?
He was like the mastermind, this brilliant advisor. He was practically a legend in his own time, famous for outmaneuvering his opponents with like cunning and this incredible foresight.
So his secret weapon was this eightfold battle array.
You could say that, yeah. Now, the frustrating thing is the exact details of this formation, how it actually worked, that's lost to history.
Come on.
I know, right?
Okay.
But even though we don't have like a play-by-play of the tactics, its effectiveness, that's undeniable. Think of it like this. Imagine a perfectly choreographed dance of soldiers, but they're trained to adapt to any situation on the battlefield. They'd be a force as unstoppable as a raging river.
Okay, now that's an image.
Right. And that's where Du Fu's poem comes in. He paints this really vivid picture for us in just 4 lines. Ready for this?
Hit me.
Okay, so Du Fu writes, "His achievements surpass those of the Three Kingdoms. His name is made by the eightfold battle array. Though the rolling river waters cease to flow, the regret of failing to conquer Wu remains."
Wow, you can almost hear the clash of swords and the roar of that river in those lines.
Du Fu really knew how to pack a punch with his words.
He did. So let's break this down. The first 2 lines seem pretty straightforward, right? Yeah. Du Fu's clearly impressed by Zhu Zhiliang. He's basically saying this guy was the best of the best.
Yeah, totally. He's saying Zhu Zhiliang stands out, even amongst the most legendary figures of that era, the Three Kingdoms period, and he connects his fame directly to this incredible battle array.
But then he uses that image of the river ceasing to flow. And that's where things get really interesting to me. Is he saying that even Zhu Zhiliang's brilliance, it couldn't stand the test of time?
That's the question that Du Fu wants us to grapple with. He takes this image, this river, which should be eternal, right? It should just keep flowing, and he puts it up against this idea of unfulfilled ambition. The final line, it reveals this lingering regret, Zhu Zhiliang's failure to conquer Wu, a rival kingdom.
So even with all his victories, all his strategic genius, Zhu Zhiliang's legacy is marked by this one failure. That's a pretty powerful statement about, I don't know, the weight of ambition maybe. How even the greatest minds are still human, bound by time.
Exactly. Du Fu isn't giving us a simple hero here. He's showing us that even the most celebrated figures, they grapple with setbacks, with what-ifs. It makes us reconsider what legacy actually means, you know?
It does. Like, are we defined solely by our victories?
Yeah.
Or is there something to be said for the struggle, even the failures?
Right.
This is where it gets really interesting for me. If we stick with that river metaphor, rivers don't just flow. They carve paths, they change landscapes, they leave behind canyons, valleys, long after their course has shifted. So maybe Zhu Zhiliang's legacy isn't just about physically conquering Wu, but about the lasting impact his strategies had, the mark he left on history, like a canyon carved into the landscape of warfare.
Ooh, I like that. It's like you're saying his influence, his ideas, those were the lasting canyon he created, not just the battles he won or lost.
Yeah, exactly. And isn't that what Du Fu's getting at with this poem? It's not just a history lesson. It's making us think about legacy, how it can be so much more than a list of achievements.
Absolutely. Du Fu was really a master at inviting us to think beyond the surface.
So what I'm taking away from this is that maybe, just maybe, true legacy isn't always about reaching the destination. It's about the journey, the impact we have along the way.
And the questions we leave swirling in our wake, right?
Exactly. Because centuries later, we're still here, talking about Zhuge his strategies, his victories, yes, but also his regrets.
It's like Du Fu is prompting us to consider our own legacy, right? What will people say about us?
What will our eightfold battle array be?
Ooh, that's a good one to ponder.
I know, right? What will be the things that outlive us? The ideas, the impact, the mark we leave on the world.
And with that thought, I think we've come full circle. It's time for all of us to consider our own legacies.
That's right. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll leave you with that question. What will your eightfold battle array be?
See you next time.